That experience, that whole relationship, it was a bunch of up and downs, but that's a part of life. When you in life, you have up and downs. So you just gotta learn, which I didn't before. You gotta learn to learn from the bads and the lessons, so you could move on to something greater. So you might still have bads, but they won't be as bad as this one because you learned and now you're on a different level. I realized that she was not the one for me because she may be a little too friendly by me. But it was one point in time where me and him lined up. And we had a 100 meter, and we was both right next to each other. And, I said, okay. And I think, my girl at the time was in the stands. So, that added a boost to all my stats got boosted during that race. So, when I got that video, I think still, when the thing got shot, in the video, I told him I'm ahead of him in the video. And I'm pretty sure I ended and I beat him in that race. And he just don't want to give me my credit, but they don't see when you losing your friends and how that makes them. I'm at home with him, so I can see how this is affecting him, and I know whether or not I want to be a part of that, and I don't. So just seeing from losing his people, like I know, like the hurt and pain from losing your people, you don't want to be a part of that. Like when we started dating, it was like school news. Like everybody was talking about it. Like I'm talking like 2 weeks straight. It was constant. Ronald, that's your girl, that's you. Y'all talking? Ain't no way. My senior year, I did cross country, which is definitely that's a dog sport. Like I used to think like Sandy Creek and Flat Rock, I thought that was a hood back then. But then one of my friends recently drove me around over there, and I started seeing all the big houses. I'm like, wait, hold on. So this whole time, everybody think all these people hard. They come to the street and this is the area they live in. I'm like, whoa, no, because I know what Alton look like. I know what their hood really look like.
Hello world, hello, how everyone doing out there? Welcome to another episode of Generational Health and Self-Love.
Yes, sir.
I'm your host, Life.
Ron Easy.
And we about to piggyback off our last episode when we talked about Ronald's upbringing and coming to Atlanta from the Midwest and how all that was. So now we're going to transition a little bit into the high school years and the growing and all the different lessons that was learned along the way. So you want to speak to the people a little bit?
Yeah, last episode I felt like it was a little vague, so we're going to get more specific into like certain situations that happened and then tell you how that affected me and how I grew from that situation, and then so on and so forth.
Yeah, so we're going to keep it going. So just a little bit before we get started, just want to tell everybody we appreciate y'all. Like and subscribe and share our channel and just, grow with us as we continue to grow in this new space, in this podcast. And we try to just uplift everybody that we come in contact with because it's time to heal. So that's pretty much what we're trying to do over here. We're trying to heal. We're trying to learn different things about us just to make the right decisions and just grow and continue to learn. So I just wanted to give everybody just an update on what's going on this here podcast. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. And I guess, let me see. First question I think I want to ask you was, how do you think, talk about how it was going into high school and now dealing with the young ladies now in high school. Tell us how that transition was moving from middle school, where it's pretty much, just still kind of getting out of them adolescent years, going into the young teenage years. How was that?
Well, let me tell you, it was definitely different because, moving from middle school to high school, it's a lot more people. So in middle school, I was like, I feel like I was still more shy and whatnot. I was just still figuring out who I was, and even when going to high school, I still was. But the biggest change from then and going into high school was I started to talk to a lot more females, a lot more women, and a lot of them started seeing me more. I feel like than it was in middle school, because it's a lot more people. So it definitely, I guess, played a big part in changing who I was, because seeing that a lot of women were noticing me or just starting to talk to different women was definitely a learning experience. Like
So you was more, was you say you became a little more sociable?
Yeah, definitely. Cause you can't be scary and try to get. I mean, you could, but
Yeah.
it's a lot more harder to try to talk to females when you acting a little standoffish. So like with my first girlfriend, I had to ask her out and whatnot. And, that was in ninth grade. That was my first time, so it was like a learning experience, and it just helped me, I would say, get more into being social with other people and different women as well.
Yeah, experience is definitely the best teacher. So, how was that encounter? How was it being in high school? I'm getting a little more responsibility as far as we ain't just going down the hallway. It's pretty big. I gotta pretty much be disciplined and do the right thing. So, how was it having a girlfriend and having more responsibility transitioning into a freshman in high school?
Well, my first girlfriend that I had in high school, it did not last long. It was only like 2 weeks, but
Wow.
yeah, because she was cute and all, and she had some beautiful eyes, and I fell for that.
Yeah.
And when I asked her out, but I didn't really know too much about her. And while getting to know her, I realized that she was not the one for me because she may be a little too friendly back then, but that's just how I felt.
Yeah.
But then my next girlfriend is really what
So your
changed.
next girlfriend, were you still a freshman or was you now a sophomore? Now, how was this?
I think I was a sophomore, and the girl I was messing with was a grade older.
So you was a
junior.
sophomore and you had a junior.
Yeah, and she was a junior. And,
Okay.
No, yeah, it had happened. Like I knew one of her friends. One of me and my exes. We had a mutual friend, but we didn't know each other at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So she had told a friend that we both have that she had liked how I was looking. I think it was at lunch or something.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, she told me. I texted her, and then from there we was together. And the craziest thing about that situation was that she was a grade older, and she had to be one of the baddest girls in the high school. And I'm not just saying this because of my opinion. Like when we started dating, it was like school news. Like everybody was talking about it. Like I'm talking like 2 weeks straight. It was constant. Ronald, that's your girl. That's you. Y'all talking? Ain't no way that's a girl, bro. Ronald, you did your thing with that one. This, that, and the other. That lasted for like 2 weeks, and at first, it felt good. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's me. Yeah, it's just. But then after like going into week 2, it's like, God dang, I steady saying the same thing, and it's starting to mess up the relationship. But I started to mess up the relationship, and eventually we stopped dating. It was like we dated for like maybe a month or 2, but it definitely played a part in us deciding not to stop talking. But it was the experience was.
There's a lot of hating going on.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of undercover hating going on.
Niggas congratulating you in your face and hating on you behind your back.
Yeah, ain't no way he put that. That's going on. I'm already knowing, but I really didn't care. But that just shows you how going from middle school and then going to high school and everybody talking about the situation. So it definitely gave me it played a part in a lot of people knowing who I was too. So yeah.
So once again, talking about high school and that transition, being around even more people than you were when you was in middle school, did you see people coming from different homes where, basically, did you see a lot of guys, young men, trying to be something that they weren't, like trying to be street guys, trying to do things that they heard on music or on TV when they really come from a better home than that? Was that a lot of that going on?
See, yeah, when I was in high school, it wasn't as common, but it was still a good enough amount of people trying to act like and I used to think they was from, I used to think like Sandy Creek and Flat Rock. I thought that was the hood back then, but then one of my friends recently drove me around over there, and I seen all the big houses. I'm like, wait, hold on. So this whole time, everybody think all these people hard, they come to the street, and this is the area they live in. I'm like, whoa, no, because I know what Alton look like. I know what their hood really look like, and how people living out there. And this compared to that is on two completely different levels. So it was a lot of people that I didn't know that was acting like from that they was from that type of stuff. But then I only recently found out they wasn't. But I've heard. Shoot, I know my high school experience wasn't too crazy when it came to like gangsters and all that, but I've heard recently like all these youngins is really out here trying to like with guns, and they not like we used to fight back then, like we used to whip our fists and all that.
Yeah.
They trying to pull out guns and jumping people and all that. Like I just recently see something on Twitter was some kids trying to jump on Cam Newton. I said, wait, what? At a football event. Like, what are y'all doing?
At a football
Yes,
camp.
and then Cam Newton go over here dragging them. Like, he got one in the head like dragging the other. I said, dang, how you jumping at him and you still losing? Like, it's just crazy how more violent or aggressive or the kids are. But I don't even think it's because, like, the hood and whatnot. I feel like it's more like what they listening to, and some of them scary, and that's why they got the guns, because they're not trying to do no fighting, because they know they try to do that fighting, it's raps. They gonna get beat.
Yeah, this is. I definitely would say that it's the younger children, not all of them, because you just got a mix of some that just. I guess they just want to be something so bad. I guess with social media, they want to be seen. They want to. I guess something missing out of their life. I really don't understand it myself, but I just hope that they really think twice and speak once. And what I mean by that is think more than once before you make that decision.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't think about the consequences that comes behind their actions. All they think about is the emotion in the moment. And the emotion in the moment will give you pain for the rest of your life if you don't examine what you're doing prior to you doing it. You have to look at all the situations, even though it could be in a spur of moment type thing. You have to still learn how to think, and that comes with discipline.
Yeah, because I feel like they don't really see the pain side of things, and I'm blessed enough or lucky enough to have somebody I could look at their life and learn from. Like you've been through what most of these people want to be through, and I know you've been through a lot of pain and stuff that people don't understand that's on the other side of what they're doing.
Exactly.
And even my older brother, he definitely lived in the area and was a part of the stuff that these people want to be a part of, but they don't see when you losing your friends and how that makes them. I'm at home with him, so I can see how this is affecting him, and I know whether or not I want to be a part of that, and I don't. Yeah. So just seeing from losing his people, like I know, like the hurt and pain from losing your people, you don't want to be a part of that. Like it's not nothing to play
That's
with.
not a life that most of the people that's in that life, they run it from it, and then you got people that's not from that life running to it. That's kind of like backwards, but who knows. But anyway, I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about moving on into, okay, you went from the 9th, you had a girlfriend, then you went to the 10th, you had a upperclassman. So as you get gaining more experience, and so what goes on after that? Do you find a girl that you spend more than a month or two with, or what happens from that point?
Yeah, dealing with women, if you don't, I don't know, because back then, I realized now that back then I wasn't mentally ready to be even taken care of, or, providing the need to the woman that, I don't have enough experience. Because with my ex, the one that we only dated for like 2 months, and she was a grade over me, I feel like she had things going on that I didn't even understand and know how to help her with, and that's a reason why I guess we stopped dating. But after that, I feel like the next person I started talking to, it was like we grew from being friends, then best friends, and then we started dating. That process was definitely a long journey because we dated for like 4 or 3 years, something like that. So I definitely feel like being in a relationship like that, it's a definitely mature you fast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
Definitely. You definitely mature. And you learn from different things, and you grow to appreciate your experiences too. Like you said before, like it wasn't all bad. You learned a lot, and you had a good time on top of that. Now, everything might not have been perfect, but you take the good with the bad, and everything that we do in life is decisions. It's things that we decide to do. No one's forcing us to do different things. So
yeah, definitely. Like like you said, not everything's good, not everything's bad. You just gotta take the good with the bad.
yeah,
And with that experience, that whole relationship, it was a bunch of up and downs, but that's a part of life. When you in life, you have up and downs. So you just gotta learn, which I didn't before. You gotta learn from the bads and the lessons, so you could move on to something greater. So, you might still have bads, but they won't be as bad as this one because you learn and now you're on a different level.
or you might not go through it as long.
Yeah.
By you having experience, and you learn from that experience, if you find yourself in a similar situation, your reaction is a little different.
Yeah.
So you kind of like, oh, okay, I've been through this, I've seen this before, so now I know how to move. Versus going through it the first time where I didn't have that experience, it's a little different.
Yeah, because I feel like now a lot of dudes, they get in relationships, they mess with girls, and a lot of times the girls end up hurting them. Then it's like they like, oh nah, it's F. I'm only messing with like hoes, or you know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to get in a real relationship because I'm not trying to get hurt again. I feel like people they too scared to get hurt when they need to. You can learn from getting hurt or learn from getting played. But I'm not saying, don't try not to mess with somebody that's doing that. But don't just say F the world after that, and now you just out here messing with anybody.
Right, because you hurt. But a lot of men don't mind doing the hurting, but they got a problem when they're the one being hurt. Now I can understand if you being someone who's a real man taking care of his family, but if you putting out the wrong thing, the wrong energy, and you get it back in return, that's just what it is. So definitely be accountable, and if you don't do nothing, you don't want nobody doing to you. Pretty much, that's just how it goes. So another thing, before we get out of high school, I did want to continue to talk about that a little bit, because I know we might have viewers watching who's probably in high school, just left high school, so it's always good to go over those different things. Even for people that's been away from high school for years, they still revisit those things in their mind and some of the good times they had. But in high school, did you play sports or anything? What was I know we talked about in the last episode about you playing football when you was younger. What did you do when you was in high school?
Well, quick shout out to my track family, because in high school I ran track all the years I could, but COVID hit, so that took a year out.
Yeah.
But definitely was one of my favorite, because not only do it get you fit, but the competition is also like, it's very fun. Like I used to do the 200, I did the 100 a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I did the 400 one time, and almost 400 was not for me. But then I did long jump, triple jump, and hurdles. That's what I almost forgot. I almost forget about the hurdles. I did 300 hurdles, and
that's different.
That is different,
Yeah.
But that was like one of my main things, because we didn't have a lot of people who did hurdles for real. So that was one I had to take for the team and go ahead and do that. And it was crazy. But I went from that in my senior year. I did cross country.
Oh, okay.
Which is definitely that's a dog sport, because you gotta have
endurance.
Yeah.
You got to last. That's not something it takes its time. So
a lot of people, when you say something about cross country in high school, they're like, whoa, like like cross country is crazy, because if you go out there and you try to run a race, you'll drop down, because
it's just, you have to prepare yourself for something like that. That ain't something you just jump into.
definitely. Also, shout out to my cross country family because that's
So
it.
so how would I mean? What drove you to run track other than do anything else? What was?
At first it was just because friends was going to do it, and I heard that when you go to meets, you get to go to other schools and ride the bus. I thought that was cool, like a little field trip with the friends and stuff. But then what kept me in there was the way I seen it was changing me and my body, and the competition being competitive. Me and my friend, my best friend, used to always be competitive. At first, got to give it to him, he was faster than me. But it was one point in time where me and him lined up, and we had a 100 meter, and we was both right next to each other. And I said, okay, and I think my girl at the time was in the stands. So that added a boost to all my stats got boosted during that race. So when I got that video, I think still when the thing got shot in the video, I told him I'm ahead of him in the video, and I'm pretty sure I ended and I beat him in that race. And he just don't want to give me my credit, but it's cool though. But that's definitely one of the reasons why I stayed in track and cross country.
So. Going into your senior year, I know last year. Go ahead.
Well, my middle school years, I did do football too. Going inside, I think it was 8th grade. Our team was undefeated for 2 years straight, all 12 games, won. And then going into high school, I didn't do football because our record did not. Our record was not great because that year going into 9th grade, we lost all games. I think it was one year when we lost all the games. It was 12-1 or something like that. I don't know, but glad I did do that. But
1-12.
1-12, yeah, something like that. So
Okay, so I was gonna say, being a senior. Got 1 year left in school. I know it was a lot of talk amongst you and your friends about what everybody was going to do after school. So when you was having conversation with your friends and you was telling them you wasn't going to college, and a lot of them were, how was those conversations like?
It was definitely interesting because during that time, I feel like everybody was getting called to the office to go to the counselor so they could pick out what schools they wanted to try to attend, or it was something like that. But everybody had to go to the counselor. But so during that time, everybody would ask me, what college you going to? I'm like, no, I'm not going to college. Starting a business, a car rental business, and I'm gonna have my cars on there, and that's what I'm gonna do straight out of high school. So that question was asked a lot during senior year because everybody trying to figure out what you.
So how did your friends react to that when you told them that? What was their reaction?
If I had to think back, most of the people I talked to, I'm pretty sure was supportive. I think because they're like, do your thing, go ahead. I always told them I'm gonna be an entrepreneur type thing. So I knew from, I don't know if I would say young age, that I wasn't gonna be like doing a regular job, going become a doctor or none of that stuff, or even sports, because I was always a rebellious kid. So I've learned a lot of stuff, and once you figure out certain things about the world and life, you don't want to really be a part of that stuff, like regular people. So I already knew that I wasn't going to be doing all that. So that's kind of who I was in high school. So when I told people what I was doing, they wasn't too surprised.
Okay. Well, so you made your mind up and you did that. So now here we are, a little over 2 years into it, going your third year of business. And how do you feel about that decision?
I feel amazing because I jumped right into it right after high school. I was still, 18 and just hopped right into it, and I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And if I didn't, and I love where I'm at right now, so obviously that decision was a great one for me. and it led me to learning a lot of lessons about business
Yeah.
and meeting different people like entrepreneurs and just being on that type of level of things. So
Definitely been. I've actually witnessed your journey. So definitely has grown as far as business goes and as far as maturity goes. So I feel like it definitely was a good decision to make, and I'm proud of you. And just keep on doing your thing and keep on growing your business. Like I always
definitely.
tell you, just keep growing. Just you already got something. Don't worry about too many other things.
Yeah. That was a very hard part of being an entrepreneur because I was trying to do a lot, so many different other things. Like when I was first getting into my car rental business, I was trying to wholesale as well. And I almost closed the deal, but then the company was shady that I was doing the deal with, so then had to step back from that and just started to focus on just Turo. So
Because that's your baby. So you just once you birth something, you have to raise it. You have to watch it grow. You have to be there to grow it. And once it get mature, then you can reach out and do other things. Well, I mean, you're doing things now, but you know what I mean.
Doing a lot.
Yeah. But you got your time it's more planned, and you know exactly what you're doing for the most part.
Yeah, no. Quick shout out to my moms for this whole business journey. I wouldn't be here at all if it wasn't for her. And I know she probably don't want me saying too much online, but I definitely got to give a big shout out to her because she's been an amazing help when it comes to just figuring everything out legally and just being able to secure the spot where I was at and doing things on the business side. So quick shout out to her.
Definitely. Yeah, ain't nothing like having that from your mom. So I definitely understand where you're coming from, and I've witnessed that as well. Let me speak a little bit about your family back home, like your mom's side of the family. I know that you didn't grow up with them because you left when you was 4, but I know when you go back home, you do spend a lot of time with them. So can you speak a little bit about that relationship with your aunties, your cousins, your grandma, and your uncles?
My family on my mom's side, I feel like we definitely are closer than most others would be when they're with their aunts and uncles and cousins because when I go down there, I spend most of my time with my cousins and my auntie because, we go there, we visiting them, we stay at their house.
Right.
So that's definitely always been a fun experience because, when you talk cousins, it's always a different type of fun with your cousins because they're around your age. So when you go and visit them, y'all always y'all catch up and do random stuff. So me and my cousins, whenever we met up, we used to take little random adventures at maybe late night, just walking around. Parents don't know about it. You're not supposed to be, but we went out anyways and had our own little adventure. So that's definitely played a part in our connection together, and it's always been strong. And even with my aunts and aunties, we all got a group chat together where we stay communicated and saying saying hey, love you, or happy birthday and all that other stuff. So we definitely, even planning Thanksgiving events, we come together on Thanksgiving and have an amazing time. Like the talks we have and the fun we have, just communicating with each other, and everybody in your family got that different type of person.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah, no, that's a great relationship to have too, though, because at the end of the day, family is so important, and family should stick together. So I'm always liked that the relationship that you share with them has always been very positive for the most part. I've never seen you really have anything bad to say about your family on your mom's side at all. So, no, I appreciate that as well because it creates a balance. Because once you leave home, you're still going around other people who you have a similar relationship to. So it feels like even though you left home, you're still at home. Right. So that's definitely a good feeling to have. Now, what I want to ask you about your other side of the family, your father's side, my side of the family, and how is your relationship with that side of the family, with your aunties, your nana, your cousins, and your uncles, well, your great uncles anyway. How was that side of the family
Well,
relationship?
I definitely have to say it's different because on your side, I feel like it's a lot more people than what it is on my mom's side. So, but it's still good because when I go down there, when we have family reunions, we all still say what's up and love, how you been, and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely say a big difference is that I feel like our cousins is not around the same age as me, so it's a little different when I go down there and you know, when we go down there to the family reunion, it's not like somebody that's around my age, just what I'm saying, that I used to spend time with. So it's still a good relationship, but we don't keep in communication as much, and that's partially on me. But I would definitely like to start talking to them more, and brain fart.
What about your nana? How's your relationship with your nana? How's that?
Oh no, that's definitely still great. Relationship. My nana is a unique person, so she got definitely a genuine and interesting personality. So it's cool to be around her. So yeah.
Yeah, because I've always, I've always preached family. Family. I always say, look out for your family. Be there for your family. So I just wanted to point that out, that it's good that you do know both sides of your family, and you do, you might be around this one more, but you still have a relationship to a certain degree with both sides. So that's good. Family is very important, and it's something that I feel like has been distanced in the past few years with everybody as a whole, to a certain degree anyway, because I can't speak on everybody, but I know that from people that I talk to and come in contact with, families are being more and more like distanced with each other, and we don't need that. We need families to come together and communicate, because you can help someone just by having a conversation with them. They might not even tell you what's going on, but just a friendly conversation could change a person's perspective in that one moment. You might just save somebody's life and don't even know it. So talk to your family. Don't be ashamed to, if you in the wrong, just apologize. And if you ain't, don't run around with hate in your heart. Just always know that family is the main recipe for success, and I mean like mental success. I mean like just something that carries on from generation to generation. That's a part of being successful, is having a strong family bond. So always try to keep your family tight if you can, but don't break your back trying to do it, because it ain't just your responsibility. We coming to it, and we about to close this out, but before we close it out, can you speak to the viewers and just give them like an ending to what we just talked about, as far as your experience in high school, your family, you're going into being an entrepreneur? Just speak on those things real quick, and maybe give some of the youngsters a quick word of advice or something positive to tell them.
Well, if anything, from me saying everything I said and talk about my life, I hope that we start being able to have certain experiences and learning from them, instead of just dwelling on them and holding grudges or hurting, and on top of that, like, I hope the people in high school, they use high school to more, not just to, excel in and get good grades, but y'all should try to use that to figure out who you are and the type of people you actually like hanging around. And don't just hang around people who are using you, because some people will just have you around just because they want to be able to tell you to do this or do that, because you the one who's gonna go. Like, you go for certain things. Yeah. And I definitely say start talking. If start talking more with your family, because there's some people that I know that could really use talking more with family, or just being more. We need to start letting people know that we still love them and stuff like that, because it's definitely, like you said, people that's out here that you could save just from having a little conversation or hitting them up or just calling them. Yeah. So that's definitely something I think that the youth and just maybe people in general should start doing more, is showing people, the people that we love, that we actually love them. Like even your homie, like I'm not saying you gotta go buy the dude flowers or something, but just hit him up, see if he's straight, just check on him, you know what I'm saying, on some cool regular stuff. I know that if y'all really cool like that, y'all should already be, you know what I'm saying, talking or whatnot. But just start showing acts of love to the people you do love. So before they go, or if they do go unexpectedly, you're not having no regrets. Like, I should have showed, like, I really did love this person, but I don't know if they know that I did, or things like that. So
Definitely.
yeah, it's getting dangerous out here. So it's definitely a time where you want to start just making sure your people are straight.
Yeah.
So
Definitely. I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that. That was a lot of wisdom right there. So everybody out there, please do us a favor, like and subscribe. Before we get out of here, we always got to end with love. Same way we start. Love you, son. Ain't nothing wrong with showing love, and that's what we're talking about. That's a part of being able to say I'm healed or I'm healing, because I'm able to show love and not feel like people looking or I'm scared what people gonna say. No, we don't care about none of that. It's all about healing. It's all about getting that mind together, because that's the only thing that's hold us back is the thoughts. Clear your mind, think positive, and even if you do have a negative thought, fight it off, because we still, even in our best, we still have different thoughts, but we have to be in control of those thoughts and don't act on them. So to everybody out there, peace, love, take care.
We out.
Yes, sir.